Hi. Many times for practicing our Excel skills, we need some data. Now, there are two ways of going about it. We could download some samples which are available on the net and work with it. But if you want to customize and get the data as per your requirements, then it may be a good idea to create the data, sample data on your own. How do we do that? We couldn't keep on typing hundreds and thousands of data items, for which we need to use some tricks and formulas in Excel. Okay, we are going to take a look at how to do this. For example, task 1, we want to create 500 ratings for a service. What ratings? Not good, below average, average, good, and very good. For that, we create a rating table first, okay, as made over here, and then it's a good idea to just name it. So select the entire table items, right, and name it. Okay, I'm going to call it ratings table, right? So we have named our table ratings. Okay, all right. Now what we want is to create a data like I have already created here. Okay, can you see? One, two, three, it goes all the way down to 500 and good, not good, average, etc. etc. We are going to see how to do it here. So first I'm just going to write one, okay, okay, and I'll write two, and then I'm going to simply drag to get 500 numbers. Okay, all right. So we got 500 numbers. Okay, they are serial numbers we have got, and now we want numbers. Okay, which numbers do we want? We want only between 1 to 5. For that purpose, we will use a formula to generate random numbers between 1 to 5. So which is the formula to be used? Equal to rand between. Okay, so you select that rand between, and bottom value is 1 and top value is 5. So we just go ahead and do that for 1. After that, we need to get a rating. How do we get a rating? We want a rating corresponding to the number over here, which is randomly generated between 1 to 5. So looking at this table, so we use VLOOKUP. Equal to VLOOKUP. So what do you want to look up? Look up value, this one, the number which is between 1 to 5. And then which table array do you want? We have named the table, remember, ratings, right? So just name it. So can you see it is red highlighted? So use the table name. This is the array from where we are going to get the answers. And where is our answer given? It's given in column number 2. So column index number 2, and just close it and enter. That's it. So what we have got here is the number randomly generated 2 and the rating for it, which is below average, right? All right, so how do we do it for all 500? That's pretty easy. Just select both and double click. Okay, so we have got beautifully done in no time, in just under a minute. We have got ratings generated over here, but we don't need these numbers, right? But first let us do something with the ratings. So I go to the first cell, then control shift and down. So I have selected all and I copy it. Okay, control C, I copy it. Why do I do that? Because it is using formula. I don't want formula, I only want values. So I have just copied the entire range. Come on to the first cell and go to paste, and please see this paste values 1 2 3, right? So I'll click on paste values. So now we have got values pasted over here. You can see it. I'm going over here, there is no formula, these are the values pasted. And now we don't need these numbers, so I'm just going to delete this column, right? So that's it. Isn't it cool? You could pretty much see it from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we have got the ratings. So we have generated data for 500 different ratings, which are bit good, not good, average, etc. etc. All right, let us now move on to dates. Many times in sample data, we need to work with dates. For example, now the task is to create 500 dates for ordering and supplying, that is date ordered and date supplied. Between, we are putting some range also, 1st Jan 19 to 31st December 22, right? So I have already done it here, date ordered and date supplied. Okay, I have already done it, date ordered and date supplied. But let us try and see how I have done it. I have used these formulas, okay? Date, which takes the first argument as year and then month and then day, okay? All right. And I have used this rand between bottom and top. So same formula, because we need to randomly generate date, correct? We need to randomly generate the date. So first we need to generate randomly three numbers and then construct date out of that, right? So how shall we do it? Let us type it, because first we need year, yes, and then we need month, okay, and then we need day, okay. All right. So year, what is the condition? Year should be between 2019 to 2022. So we just go ahead and putting the formula rand between, what do we want? 2019, comma, that is the year, right? From 2019 to 2022, because we want to generate data for 3 years. You could generate for more as you wish, okay? So it has created an year. Same way, let's go about doing the month is equal to rand between, and months are obviously from 1 to 12. So go ahead and do that and enter. So we have got a month randomly generated and we need days. Let's go ahead and do that. Rand between. Okay, I'm going to do one small trick over here, because remember the days of months change. Some months have got 30, some months have got 31, and some have 28. So I'm going to do a trick over here. I'll just use starting date as 1 and ending date as 28. Later on, we'll see how it could be done by changing a few dates to 30 or 29, etc. We are not doing it right now. We are simply putting the dates from 1 to 28. That's it. So we have got year, month, and day, and now we are going to generate a date. Let us call it date ordered. Okay, so this is the date ordered. Yes, let me create some space over here and some more space to accommodate it properly. So we got date ordered here, which needs to be generated using year, month, and day. So I'll just go ahead and, like I had mentioned earlier, use the formula date, right? So the year is going to be this and put a comma, and month is going to be this and put a comma, and day is going to be this and finish. That's it. We have generated a date, right? Okay, but we want to do it for how many? We want to do it for 500, correct? Now, how do we can drag them pretty much. Okay, let us drag it. But had we written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So what I will do is I will just make it as order ID. Okay, order ID, and just write 1 and 2, right? And just drag it to 500. Okay, so we got the order IDs 1 to 500. All right. we have got this date order generated for one, but because it's in continuation, it thinks that it's like a table. So now we could pretty much, these are all formulas used. So select them all and just double click. Oh, wonderful, isn't it? So we have got date order generated by using formulas for year randomly and month and day and constructing a date out of that. So the dates are between 2019 to 2021. These are all the fields columns used for generating a date. We can pretty much delete that. We are going to do that. But first thing first, important, this is using formula which is not good. So what we will do is select them all, Control Shift and down, and copy it, Control C, and go to the first cell from where we want to insert the data on this. So go to the first cell over here and go to paste and paste values. All right, here we have got values pasted. Okay, so this is the data which we have generated. Pretty much nice. Now these three columns which we had constructed are not required really, right? So we could pretty much delete these columns, right? Okay, so here is order ID and here is date ordered, right? Now let's say we want date supplied. Okay, now we'll have to assume something, right? We'll have to assume something, for which what we will do is we will again generate uh, a random number. Let's say the delivery period is between 3 days to 15 days. So again, we are just going to say equal to rand between, and let's say 3 days is the quickest delivery and they will do it latest in 15 days. So rand between 3 and 15. So this is the thing which we have got, right? 3. Now how do we get date supplied? We can pretty much do it by using a formula is equal to date ordered, yes, plus randomly generated time and enter. Okay, so 24th August and 28th. So this was supplied within 4 days. How do we do it for all 500? Just select both and double click. Oh, that's it. So we got date supplied randomly with the delivery period varying from, I think we have given from 3 days to maximum 15 days. So we have got it generated. Again, do the same thing because this is using formula. We don't want any formula. So Control Shift down and Control C to copy it and come back to the first cell and paste as values. All right. So these are the dates supplied. No, something is wrong. It's still showing formula. All right, we need to repeat the task. Control Shift down and copy and come back over here and paste as values. Okay, let us see. Yeah, now you can see it is showing directly value and there is no formula. Okay, all right. So this again is not required. Control Shift down and delete and done. So we got an order ID over here, we got date ordered over here, and date supplied for 500 records, right? So this way we can generate dates, right? Let's try and do the mark list. Okay, next task, create a mark list for 100 students. Serial number, name, gender, maths, physics, chemistry, English, and French. So we want to generate randomly, we want to generate data for 100 students. Let's go ahead and do it. 1, and 2, and we just select both and drag it down to 500. All right, we have crossed 500. Doesn't matter, we could pretty much take how much we want, but since we said 500, we will do 500. Okay, so we got 500 numbers, and now the next task is we need the names, right? How do we get the names? Okay, we could pretty much start typing, but do you want to type 500 names? That's not very nice, right? So what do we do? We go on to net and look for uh, boys names, boys names Indian, right? So I'm taking boys names Indians. All right, so I'm just clicking it, and that's it. We got various names of different communities, right? Gujarati, Marathi, Muslim, Tamil, Telugu, etc., etc. So we got a website over here, and we are going to try and get data from the web. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the website and copy it. Okay. Copy its address and get back to our Excel. Okay. Get back to our Excel. Let's say we are here. Let's say we are here and we want to get data. So how do we get data? Click on data and get and transform data from web. Okay. All right. So we will paste the address over here from where we want the names. Okay. Click OK. And here there are several tables which are available in that website. So we could select, okay, since we are doing practice, I'm going to select any one randomly, right? So table 1, and here is a preview of the names along with meanings, right? So just right click on load, right? So beautifully we have got the names loaded over here, yes, and these are boys names. So I'll just go over here and control shift and down, so all the names are selected, and control C, that's copied, and let me go back to my mark list and paste it. Oh, cool, I got all the names over here. Okay, but who are these? These are boys. Okay, so I'm going to write here male, right? And let me drag it down. Okay, we got 50 boys' names and we have entered male. Let us go ahead. Uh, let us go ahead and again get some more names, data. I think we should go to the website first and we'll let us try and get the girls' names now. Okay, so let us try to get girl names Indian, right? All right, so I'm going to click that girl names Indian and just copy the address of the website. Here is the address, and now I am ready to go to Excel and on data and get data from web and paste the address over here and click OK. So there are a couple of girls names over here. I'm just going to pick up any one table. Okay, and load. Okay, so here are 50 names loaded over here. Okay, or 90, I don't know. So I will need to just copy it, control shift down and copy and get back to my mark list and come over here and paste. All right, and these are all females, so I could pretty much write female. Okay, and yes, so we have generated nicely some data. Okay, I'm not going to do it for 500. We could pretty much do it by repeatedly doing it, but I am showing you how to go about doing it, right? So we got some 50 or yeah, 50 boys names and 90 girls names, and now all we need to do is generate marks. Let's say marks are out of 100, so we are just going to use rand between formula. And since the marks in this in the maths are out of 100, we need to know, okay, let's assume that minimum marks a boy or a girl gets is, let's say, how much? Let's say 18, right? And maximum marks in maths a person gets is, let's say, 100 out of 100, right? So that's it. So we generated one, right? We could copy this formula for all, right? So we got randomly generated marks in all five subjects. So select all, they are randomly generated, right? And then just double click, and here are the marks, right? So we have generated a mark list, okay, for five different subjects for almost 50 boys and 90 girls. Pretty fast, right? But there is one more thing we need to do because this is using formulas. So I'm going to do remove these formulas and save it only as data, right? Because formulas will keep changing. Random numbers generated keep changing every time you load a sheet or load the data. Remember that. So what we will do is just select all and copy them and get back onto the first cell and go to paste and click on paste values. All right, so we have got values pasted over here, right? See here, now they are values. So here is a beautifully done table, right? You could see it. Okay, we have done 140, right? We have done the marks for all, but we have got the names a little less. You could pretty much practice and do it. And here is a nicely done table over here, right? All right, and we could just about click and format as table, and this would get formatted. Yes, so here is a beautifully done table, right? Okay, I think I selected one extra column. Never mind. We could put it as total or something like that. And this is how we have generated data for a large number of students. And we could now pretty much go ahead and practice it. I hope this session was useful. That's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to get notifications and share it with your friends if you find it useful.